Generally, there are three types of drones out there you might encounter on your search for a new drone. They're categorized as beginner drones, camera drones, and racing drones. Beginner drones are generally at the low end of the price range and are more dedicated to novice pilots, as the name implies. They have very easy controls with fun features to ease you into flying drones. They also have some sort of a camera most of the time, but don't expect anything advanced here. Camera drones are on the higher range of things, and they're built to deliver a steadier performance for the lens. These drones are more focused on presenting you excellent image and video rather than tricks or speed. Racing drones are machines that are dedicated to more advanced users, as they have smaller bodies that are very maneuverable and fast. If you want to get into competitions, these drones are a must. But then again, these drones are more specific and not as popular. Secondly, flying time and batteries. One of the most important factors to know about a drone is its flying time. This will tell you for what amount of time you can fly the drone. In most cases, larger drones can fly for longer times. Smaller beginner drones can go for about 10 minutes before they give up, and more professional ones give you about half an hour of flight time. As you'll see, this is a very short window of time. For that reason, I recommend you invest in spare batteries for your drone to double or even triple your flight time. And thirdly, range and speed. The flight range of your drone will depend on your main use of the drone. More professional ones have about 2 kilometers of flight range, and sometimes even more. More beginner-oriented drones have about 500 meters of range, more or less. Speed is also an important factor to consider if you're considering a racing drone or something that you'll do tricks with rather than shooting stills and videos. We're going to kick off this list with a very affordable option, the Rise Tech Tello. With its price and functions, the Rise Tello makes itself available for every user, and for that reason I recommend this one to everybody, even if you're not interested in drones. This drone will grant you an immense amount of fun, quality, solid flight time, durability, and ease of use. It establishes itself as a great fun little drone even for very skilled pilots. Let's take a closer look. I like testing drones by letting a beginner flyer try to fly the thing, and the Rise Tello showed it can be done without a doubt. A friend of mine that wasn't interested in drones was impressed with this one and decided to pull the trigger on a Rise Tello. I should mention that this drone can be controlled with a smartphone companion app or from the remote control that isn't available in the package, unfortunately. But a smartphone completes the task just fine. In the price range of this drone, you can't expect good flight time since it's pretty cheap and other examples have taught us. However, this time around, the Rise Tello contributes about 30 minutes of flight time, as about double its competitors. Double the fun. It's packed with a solid 5-megapixel camera lens that has a wide 82.6 degree field of view. It can also record 720p HD footage at 30 frames per second. This small device is armed to the teeth with sensors, and its best one is the pressure sensor that allows it to hold a set altitude without requiring further input, so you can focus on finding the perfect photograph. The same sensor is also responsible for calculations about the flight height, providing you the exact parameters about the whole process. Other beginner-friendly features of the Rise Tello include the one-touch takeoff and landing, which makes it a dream come true for novice pilots. Even if you fly your drone out of range or the battery runs out mid-flight, it'll land safely, making sure no damage happens to it. Coming up next on our list is the DJI Mavic Air 2, which is a great mid to high range drone that's a perfect pick for beginners that can afford a bit more. This drone has superior battery life, amazing image and video quality, automated shots with tons of modes, HDR video, AirSense transponder, obstacle detection and avoidance, and many more features of a similar nature. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. The DJI Mavic Air 2 is a bit larger than its predecessor, which was already excellent, measuring about 3.3 by 3.8 by 7.1 inches in total, and it weighs about 1.3 pounds. This is not a problem though, as it fits into all camera bags without any problem. Of course, those dimensions are increased when you extend their arms for flying the drone, but it has a pretty small profile. In the US though, you'll need to pay a $5 nominal registration fee for flying the device. If you want a bit more functionality from it, you should opt for the Fly More kit that adds a bag, 2 spare batteries, neutral density filters, and a charger kit for all your batteries. But even the standard package is rather good, as it comes with a remote, a battery and cables to connect your phone and charge the battery of the device. The DJI Mavic Air 2 has a flight time of about 34 minutes when fully charged, which in practical tests achieved a pretty close approximate time. Another feature for experienced flyers was the AirSense transponder that alerts you about manned aircraft near your drone, so you won't interfere with anyone. The remote control in the package is a very cool one with basic functions and intuitive features, that allow you to connect it with your smartphone with its clips. The DJI Fly Companion is also very intuitive and tells you all the metrics you need to know and allows you to capture some beautiful images or videos with its 48 megapixel sensor. The video is rather smooth in 4K 60 FPS, combined with its sharp lens, gimbal stabilization, and 120 megabit per second compression rate. The third entry in our list comes again from DJI, the Mavic Mini, which, as its name implies, is a pretty compact drone that'll help you out. It has a low cost of entry, has a remote control in the package, great battery life, image and video quality to please everyone, and tons of other features that'll make every pilot happy. On top of that, it doesn't require any kind of registration. The DJI Mavic Mini's main selling point is that it's just under 8.8 ounces in total, meaning you don't need to register it with the FAA before flying it outdoors, which is amazing. I reckon it must have been challenging for the engineers to pack everything on this one. I should mention that it doesn't compromise anywhere. For example, it's rated at 30 minutes of flight time before giving up, but it should be a bit less in practical use, but not by a significant margin. It's also rather small enough to fit into your palm and will fit into all camera bags. It has a removable battery compartment in the back where you'll also find the micro SD slot and a micro USB port for charging the device. The remote control in the package is pretty basic, but good overall, as it connects to your phone without any problem. There are tons of features with the device, such as the Find My Drone option in the app that utilizes the GPS and GLONASS features. The DJI Mavic Mini is packed with a 1/2.3-inch image sensor with a 12 megapixel resolution for stills and 2.7K for video. It has a good field of view, which is quite wide, and has a fixed f2.8 aperture. The lens is rather sharp and clear, which means you can shoot some amazing photographs and videos with it. The runner-up on this list is the Autel Robotics Evo, which is a great drone that passes a whole range of features that'll be extremely useful to you. It has a compact folding design, great video shooting, video profiles, different format supports, obstacle detection and avoidance system, great battery life, and works with smartphones as well. Let's check it out. Compared to other drones in the market, the Autel Robotics Evo has a more playful colour scheme with its bright orange. It's a great one to spot even from a distance, and you'll find it quite easily. The whole thing measures about 5.5 by 5.5 by 10 inches when folded, and you can pack it quite easily. When you're ready for flight, just open the arms and you're good to go. It has some interesting safety features that come from GPS and GLONASS satellites, such as the feature that lands itself safely when the signal is interrupted, or the return to home feature. Battery life is rated at about 30 minutes in total, which is great overall. You can also get spare flight batteries for a cheap price, and I recommend it for the best experience. If you turn off the forward obstacle sensor, you can fly this drone in speeds of up to 44 miles per hour, which is great. I should mention that the Autel Robotics Evo can fly up to 2,600 feet above the ground, but you should be careful about that not to violate any regulation or legal limits in the US. The remote control of this drone allows you to fly without a smartphone, since it has a display on it, gives you a first-person view, it has a 4K video camera and a 12 megapixel image sensor that'll take some beautiful footage. Just amazing. Number 1. DJI Mavic 2 Pro. For those that are looking for the very best drone in the market, I recommend the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which is also a very high-end option. This drone comes from DJI again and has proven time and time again its quality and performance. It produces excellent 4K video, solid still images, great battery life and tons of sensors to get you going. It might be a little expensive, but it's a great piece of tech that'll allow you to get a pleasant experience. If you have seen its predecessor, the DJI Mavic 2 Pro has the same design language with a bit larger dimensions that measure 3.3 by 3.6 by 8.4 inches when folded. It weighs about 2 pounds in total though, which means it is a bit substantial and that you'll require an FAA registration to fly it around the US recreationally. In the package of this drone, you'll spot the drone itself, a gimbal protector, the intelligent flight battery, the controller, the pairs of propellers, a charger for the battery, a power cable, USB Type-C cable, USB adapter, a pair of spare controller sticks, and 3 RC cables, one of which has a lightning connector, one has a micro USB, and the other has a USB Type-C to wrap it up. The battery life of the DJI Mavic 2 Pro is rated at 31 minutes on a full charge, which is excellent, but still less than the Mavic Air 2 we talked about. However, it's way faster, flying at 45 miles per hour at top speed, as much as a racing drone. The companion app provides plenty of functionality to the device and it's available for all your platforms, Android and iOS. From there, you can adjust video features such as quality, frame rates, and similar. The DJI Mavic 2 Pro carries a 4K video quality with plenty of frame rates. Going down to full HD quality, you can go up to 120 frames per second with superior quality and stability, top of the class.